I'm showing you how easy it is to make my creamy lemon garlic chicken pasta with cottage cheese. I've made this healthy creamy sauce higher in protein and lower in fat with cottage cheese. We're blending it smooth and adding clean natural ingredients including parmesan cheese, fresh lemon juice, zest, butter, and almond milk. Then we're serving it with my pan-seared lemon garlic marinated chicken, your favorite pasta, and baby spinach and artichoke hearts for added flavor and nutrition. We're gonna start with 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And one of the first secrets to getting it nice and juicy is having the chicken pounded out to an even thickness. I found the easiest way to do this is to put the chickens inside of their own plastic bags. To pound out the chicken, I'm going to use my rolling pin. I'm gonna start where the chicken is thickest and then gradually pound towards the outer edge. The next secret to flavorful chicken is seasoning it. So now that our chicken is pounded to an even thickness, I'm going to take it out of the bag and lay it right on top. And this also helps to keep my counter clean. To season the chicken, we're gonna start with some coarse sea salt, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it right on top of the chicken. And then I'll add a few dashes of black pepper. And then I'll tap it into the meat and then flip them over and repeat. The next secret to getting very flavorful chicken is using a marinade. We're gonna start with 1/4 cup of light olive oil, 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice, a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, and then we simply mix it together. And then we're gonna take a bowl or a plastic bag and we're going to put our chicken down inside and pour our marinade right on top. And then we'll simply flip our chicken over to make sure it gets submerged in that delicious marinade. And then I'm gonna scoosh these side by side. And then you want to let this marinate in the fridge from about 30 minutes up to about 4 hours. The next secret to getting chicken that has that golden crust on the outside but is juicy and moist on the inside is using a cast iron fry pan. I'm going to use a Hexclad pan that is a hybrid between a cast iron fry pan and a non-stick fry pan. I love it because it gives me the best of both types of pans. We'll begin by turning our heat to medium-high and then getting our pan nice and hot. And then we're gonna pour in about a tablespoon of light olive oil. And then I'll tilt the pan to evenly coat it with the oil. Now we're going to lay away our chicken breasts in our pan. And then I'm setting a timer for 3 minutes. And then we'll check the underneath side, and as soon as it turns a nice golden brown, we can flip our chicken breasts over. And as an option to add a little more flavor, I'm sprinkling on about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And this is just gonna add more flavor as well as deepen the color of the crust. Well, it's been about 3.5 minutes and these chicken breasts are ready to flip. Ooh, you can see that golden color that we got on the bottom. And color equals flavor. Now the next secret to having perfectly juicy chicken is not overcooking it. And this is where I always made the biggest mistake. And having a good meat thermometer really helps. We just want to cook it until the internal temperature reaches at least 165 degrees. And then we'll know that our chicken is cooked. So it's been about 3 minutes, so I'm going to start checking the chicken breasts all the way around, and it's not quite there. Another trick for getting the chicken to cook through a little bit quicker is to put a lid on it. So I'm just gonna add my lid for about another 30 seconds. Now I'll take off the lid and check the temperature, and we are reading at least 165 in all parts of the chicken. So this chicken is done and ready to come out of the pan. And I wish you could smell my kitchen right now. It smells of lemon and garlic and Italian seasonings. Now that our chicken is cooked, we need to let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, which is really gonna help all those juices get soaked into that chicken and really lock in the flavor and the moisture. So we can go ahead and set this aside. I love using cottage cheese in this pasta sauce because once it's blended down, it no longer has its curdled texture. It just has this really delicious cheese flavor, but then you also get all of its nutritional benefits. You can blend the sauce together in an upright blender, or I'm using the chopper cup that comes with my immersion blender. So we're gonna add 1 cup of cottage cheese, and you can use large curd, small curd, non-fat, low fat, whatever your preference. Then I'm adding 1/4 cup of milk, and my preference is almond milk. Then I'm adding 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, and this is definitely preferred over the store-bought version if you can. I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of the lemon zest that I zested off of the lemon peel before I juiced it. Then we're adding 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon salt, and a dash of pepper. And then I'll put on the lid and mix it together until it's smooth and creamy. Well, that looks fantastic, and no one will ever guess that this was cottage cheese. Now we can set this aside. And to add more flavor to our sauce, I have 4 cloves of garlic. And then I'm just gonna quickly dice these up. And before we begin making our sauce, I'm also going to prep 1/4 cup of butter, as well as 1/2 cup of some artichoke hearts, as well as 2 cups of some baby spinach leaves. And then I also grated 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. I prefer to buy the block of cheese and then shred it myself, because the store-bought pre-shredded cheese has been coated in cellulose to keep the little cheese strands from sticking together. And then we're gonna set these aside and then use our pan that we cooked our chicken in to make our sauce, and then bring all of our ingredients back together. Then we'll bring the pan to medium heat and then add our spinach and artichoke hearts. Then we want to stir and allow them to cook until the spinach is wilted. Then we're going to remove them from the pan and let them hang out on a plate. Next, we want to add our 1/4 cup of butter and stir it around until melted. And then we can add in our chopped garlic. And then we're just gonna cook this until our garlic is soft and fragrant. Then we can pour in our cottage cheese sauce and give it a good stir. It will thin out as it heats up. Next, we can dump in our Parmesan cheese and then just stir them together until the cheese is completely melted. Now we can add in our 6 ounces of your favorite cooked pasta that's been hanging out waiting for its turn. And then we'll stir together the sauce and the pasta. Depending on how much pasta you added, you could add more milk if necessary to bring the sauce to the best consistency. Then we can add our cooked spinach and artichokes back into the dish. Well, I wish you could smell my kitchen right now, because with the lemon and the garlic, it smells like an Italian kitchen in here. And the finishing touch to this incredible pasta is to add some of our lemon garlic marinated chicken, which has been resting. I went ahead and sliced one of the chicken breasts. So I'm just gonna lay these right on top of our pasta, and then it's time for a sample. Wow, that is so good. As soon as I bite in, I get a burst of tangy lemon and garlic flavor, and I get the chicken, which is just juicy and tender, and then I get the delicious pasta, which has that cheesy sauce all wrapped around it, and then I get a little bit of the spinach and the artichokes, which perfectly complement the lemon flavors. That is so delicious, and is a meal that my family absolutely loves, and I love knowing that it's made with clean, natural ingredients that's going to make all of us feel fantastic even after we eat it. And I love making and sharing creatively healthy dishes like this one so you can enjoy them too. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen to make this delicious dish. And I've included a link to the full recipe in the video description below, which takes you to my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love this recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you again with me in my kitchen next time.